Welcome, rare gems. What comes to your mind when you hear the word dark? For many people, it means something negative, but what if darkness can also mean strength, clarity, and a deeper side of someone that most never get to see? A Sigma female carries this kind of darkness. It is not the kind that destroys her, it is the kind that makes her sharp, unshakable, and hard to control. Her darker edge is not about being cruel, it is about being untouchable in a world that often tries to take advantage of softness. Many women are taught to please, to smile even when they do not feel like it, and to keep peace even when it costs them their own happiness. A Sigma female refuses to live like that. Her darker edge is the proof that she is willing to stand alone, to draw lines that no one can cross, and to protect her peace even when others misunderstand her. That kind of strength can be intimidating, but it is also inspiring. If you see parts of yourself in her, let this be a reminder that your edge is not something to hide. It is proof that you have survived, that you have seen enough of life to know what truly matters, and that you are not afraid to cut away anything that weakens you. The world may not always understand women like you, but that misunderstanding is your shield. Own your edge, because it is exactly what makes you unshakable. Let's dive into it, the rare gems. Number 1. She studies people in silence, but never lets them study her fully. Have you ever met someone who seems to know you better than you know yourself, yet you cannot quite figure them out? That is the quiet mastery of a Sigma female. She has this sharp ability to watch people closely, noticing the tiny details that others overlook. The way someone speaks, the way they pause before answering, even the slight change in their tone, all of this becomes information to her. She gathers it like puzzle pieces, but she never lays her own cards on the table. This makes her fascinating and at the same time unsettling. Most people are used to reading others quickly, but with her it feels like staring into a mirror that only reflects back what she wants you to see. You may think you know her, but what you really know is the version she has allowed you to access. The deeper layers of her thoughts, her feelings, and her intentions are kept locked away. Think of it like a chess match. She is not just making her move, she is also studying yours and predicting your next 3 steps. But unlike most players, she never reveals her strategy. That gives her an edge, because while others may try to manipulate or outsmart her, they end up revealing more about themselves than they ever meant to. This is why people often feel exposed around her. She is not doing anything obvious, she is just quietly watching and understanding. And while they are busy trying to figure her out, she remains a mystery. That is a darker edge than many expect, because it proves she is not the one being played. She is the one holding the upper hand. Number 2. Her patience is not softness but strategy. She can wait months or even years before making a move that changes everything. Most people confuse patience with weakness. They assume that if someone is quiet and not reacting instantly, it means they have no power. A Sigma female flips that idea completely. Her patience is not about being passive, it is about being deliberate. She has the rare ability to hold back, to sit still, and to let time do the heavy lifting for her. This is not softness, it is strategy. Imagine a situation at work where others are quick to rush into competition. Everyone is trying to prove themselves, cutting corners and demanding attention. The Sigma female, on the other hand, does not fight for every scrap. She quietly does her work, observes who is exposing their weaknesses, and chooses her moment carefully. When she finally acts, it is not noisy or chaotic. It is precise, and it changes the entire game. She has no fear of waiting because she understands that timing is more powerful than force. This patience makes her dangerous in the best way, because she never wastes energy on pointless battles. Instead, she allows the dust to settle, and then she strikes when no one expects it. That move often feels so calculated that others are left stunned, wondering how she pulled it off so smoothly. Think of it like a predator in the wild. The strongest animals are not the ones that run after everything that moves. They wait, they study, and they choose the exact moment when success is almost guaranteed. That is how she moves in life. Her patience carries a darker edge because it teaches others that she cannot be rushed, pushed, or cornered. She knows how to play the long game, and in that game she almost always wins. Number 3. When pushed too far, she does not explode. She withdraws and creates a plan that cuts deeper than any loud confrontation ever could. Most people expect anger to be loud. They think if someone is upset, they will yell, slam doors, or throw their emotions around. But the Sigma female has a different kind of fire. When she is pushed too far, she does not explode in front of everyone. Instead, she retreats into silence. This silence is not surrender. It is the calm before a storm that you never see coming. For example, in friendships or relationships, if someone repeatedly disrespects her, she will not waste her energy on shouting matches or dramatic scenes. She will simply step back, study the situation, and quietly build her response. By the time she acts, it is not raw emotion speaking. It is a plan that changes the entire dynamic. The person who thought they had the upper hand suddenly finds themselves powerless. Think about it this way. Two people argue. One screams, the other stays calm. The one who screams burns out quickly, but the one who stays calm has already taken mental notes and is preparing a move that has far more impact than raised voices. That is exactly how she handles conflict. Her withdrawal is not weakness, it is precision. Her darker edge shows in the way she uses her silence. She lets people reveal their true nature while she holds back. Then, when she finally acts, her decision is permanent and leaves no space for manipulation. It may be cutting ties, exposing the truth, or shifting her life in a way that makes the other person irrelevant. This is why underestimating her is a mistake. You may never hear her rage, but you will feel the weight of her decisions. Her silence holds more power than an entire room of shouting voices. Number 4. She knows how to vanish emotionally, even while sitting right in front of you, turning presence into absence without saying a word. One of the most unsettling things about a Sigma female is her ability to disappear without physically going anywhere. She can sit across from you, nodding and responding, yet emotionally she is miles away. It is as if she has pulled a curtain across her inner world, leaving you staring at the shell while her true self has slipped out of reach. This is not indifference, it is self-protection and a warning. She knows how to detach when someone crosses her limits or tries to invade her peace. Imagine being in a conversation where the other person is pouring out words, trying to provoke, manipulate, or guilt trip. Most people would argue back or break down. The Sigma female does neither. She simply switches off her emotional connection, and in that moment she becomes untouchable. People often feel this shift, and it unnerves them. They suddenly realize they have lost access to her. It is like trying to fight someone who has already walked off the battlefield, even though they are still physically standing there. That kind of detachment can be more powerful than any argument because it leaves the other person wrestling with themselves. This ability also explains why she rarely regrets walking away from toxic relationships. She has practiced the art of emotional vanishing to the point where she can shut off the bond that once existed and never reopen it. That kind of strength may look cold, but in reality, it is survival. It is her way of making sure her spirit does not get drained by people who do not deserve her presence. Her darker edge lies in this quiet, disappearing act. You may think you still have her, but the truth is, she left a long time ago, and she will not be coming back. Number 5. Her boundaries are sharper than they appear. One misstep and you find yourself completely shut out without warning or second chances. Boundaries are often talked about as soft guidelines, something flexible that people can bend when emotions get involved. For a Sigma female, boundaries are not suggestions. They are hard lines carved deep. At first, they may not look threatening. She can appear warm, approachable, and even forgiving. But the truth is, once someone crosses those invisible lines, the consequences are final. Picture this. Someone close to her betrays her trust. Instead of creating a scene or demanding explanations, she calmly notes the violation. She may not say anything immediately, but the relationship has already shifted in her mind. The person may try to apologize, promise change, or even act like nothing happened. None of it matters because she has already closed the door. And when she closes a door, she does not leave a crack open. It is sealed. This often shocks people because they expected warnings, drama, or a gradual withdrawal. Instead, she can cut ties with quiet precision, leaving no space for negotiation. One day you think you have access to her world, and the next you realize you are standing outside with no way back in. Her boundaries carry a darker edge because they are absolute. She does not entertain repeated offenses or endless second chances. Life has taught her that people who truly respect her will never force her to compromise her limits. Everyone else becomes an outsider. This is why many people who lose her presence regret it deeply. They realize too late that once she shuts them out, they have lost something they can never recover. Her boundaries are not just protection, they are a warning that her peace comes first, always. Number 6. She remembers every betrayal in detail, not to play victim, but to know exactly where to strike if the need arises. Most people try to forget betrayal as a way to move on, but a Sigma female carries it differently. She does not dwell on it in order to feel pity for herself. She files it away in her mind like evidence. Every word, every action, every false promise is stored with clarity. She may forgive in her own way, but she never forgets. Think of it like keeping a private ledger. While others may lose track of how many times they were lied to or taken for granted, she remembers the details vividly. And it is not because she is obsessed with the past, it is because she knows that history often repeats itself. If someone has betrayed her once, the chances of them doing it again are high. By remembering the first offense, she protects herself from falling into the same trap twice. This memory also serves another purpose. If she ever chooses to respond, she knows exactly where to cut. She does not lash out randomly or emotionally. Instead, her response is precise because she already knows the weak spots of the person who wronged her. It could be as subtle as withdrawing her support at the exact moment they need it most, or as direct as revealing the truth they worked so hard to hide. Her darker edge lies in the fact that she does not seek revenge out of anger. She waits, she watches, and if the time ever comes, she delivers consequences that are unforgettable. And even when she does nothing at all, her memory alone ensures she will never be fooled the same way twice. This makes her someone people should think twice before crossing. To her, betrayal is not just a wound. It is a lesson, a record, and sometimes a weapon. Number 7. Her calmness is often mistaken for kindness, but in reality it is restraint. She is always aware of how destructive she could be if she chose to let go. On the surface, a Sigma female often looks calm, collected, and unbothered. People around her may think this calmness comes from kindness, as if she simply has no desire to fight or no sharp edges to show. But the truth is, her calmness is a choice, not a limitation. She stays composed because she knows exactly how destructive she could be if she let herself react without control. Imagine a heated argument. Most people would raise their voice, throw insults, or even act in ways they later regret. The Sigma female does the opposite. She stays silent, listens carefully, and responds only when she feels it is necessary. To outsiders, this looks like kindness or patience. In reality, it is restraint. She knows that if she let herself speak from anger, her words could cut deeper than she intends. So instead, she chooses control. This makes her calmness a weapon in itself. People who expect her to be soft are caught off guard when they realize she is simply holding back. Her darker edge lies in the fact that she knows her own power and refuses to waste it on petty conflicts. She understands that once unleashed, her presence can leave scars, so she keeps it tucked away like a blade she only draws when it truly matters. Her calmness should not be mistaken for weakness, because it is actually strength in disguise. While others burn themselves out in noise and chaos, she keeps her energy intact. And if the time ever comes when she needs to release what she has been holding back, it will not be wild or reckless. It will be deliberate, and it will leave no doubt about what she is capable of. Her silence, her patience, her calmness, they are not signs of softness. They are proof that she understands the full extent of her fire and has chosen to master it instead of letting it control her. Number 8. She never seeks revenge in the obvious way. She dismantles your power slowly by removing herself from where you thought she would always be. Most people think of revenge as loud, dramatic, or even destructive, They expect someone who has been wronged to fight back directly, to throw words or to make a scene. The Sigma female does something far more unsettling. She does not waste her time trying to break someone down in obvious ways. Instead, she takes away the very thing they never imagined losing, her presence. Picture this. Someone mistreats her, convinced that she will stay, forgive, or adjust because that is what people usually do. But instead of clinging to the relationship, she quietly begins to pull herself back. No warnings, no explanations, no second chances. She creates distance, little by little, until one day she is simply gone. What makes this powerful is that her absence hits harder than any act of revenge ever could. This is not about proving a point to the other person. It is about taking back her power. By leaving the place where she was once depended on, admired, or taken for granted, she dismantles the illusion that they controlled her. Suddenly, the one who thought they held all the strings is left with nothing to pull. Her darker edge lies in how cleanly she erases herself. She does not need chaos or confrontation to make her mark. She simply withdraws and lets the emptiness do the talking. And the truth is that emptiness speaks louder than any words ever could. What makes this even more extraordinary is how permanent it is. Once she has decided to remove herself, she does not look back. The other person is left with silence, and in that silence they realize the full weight of losing her. That is her form of revenge. Not loud destruction, but the quiet disappearance that leaves people haunted. Number 9. She does not believe in begging for loyalty. Instead, she makes it very clear that betrayal has permanent consequences. Loyalty is something most people talk about, but rarely live by. For a Sigma female, loyalty is not a request, it is a standard. She never begs for it, because she believes that if someone truly respects her, it should come naturally. And if it does not, then the relationship is already broken. This is where her darker edge shows. When someone betrays her, she does not chase them down asking for explanations or offering endless chances. She lets them see that their actions have consequences, and those consequences are permanent. Once she realizes that loyalty has been broken, there is no going back to how things were. She does not patch holes in sinking ships. She simply steps off and leaves it behind. Imagine a friend who talks behind her back or a partner who plays with her trust. Many people would argue, demand apologies, or give second chances out of fear of losing the bond. The Sigma female refuses to do that. She believes that loyalty should not have to be earned twice, so when it is gone, she treats it as dead. And that clarity is what makes her presence so respected. Her refusal to beg for loyalty unsettles people because it shows she is not afraid of loss. She would rather stand alone than stay surrounded by half-truths and shaky commitments. That is what gives her such power. Those who remain loyal to her know it is genuine, while those who betray her learn quickly that her world has no open-door policy once trust is broken. This darker edge is what sets her apart. She does not punish with rage or revenge, she punishes with finality. Betrayal earns silence, distance, and permanent exile from her world. And nothing is heavier than realizing you can never go back once she has made that decision. Number 10. Her silence is not weakness, but a blade that slices deeper than words, forcing you to wrestle with your own guilt. Silence makes most people uncomfortable. In a world where everyone rushes to explain, defend, or argue, silence feels heavy and unnatural. The Sigma female understands this very well. She knows that words are not always the strongest weapon. Sometimes silence can cut deeper than anything spoken. When someone wrongs her, she does not waste energy arguing. Instead, she gives them nothing, no reaction, no explanation, no emotional release. That silence lingers, and the person is left alone with their own thoughts. They replay their actions, second-guess themselves, and often feel the sting of guilt far more than if she had shouted at them. This is her darker edge. She does not need to fight you directly because your own conscience becomes the punishment. Think about how unsettling it feels when you send someone a long message full of excuses, and all you get back is silence. That silence forces you to face the truth in your own words. The Sigma female uses this same principle in real life. Her silence is not avoidance, it is control. She knows that sometimes withholding her voice is more powerful than raising it. This also protects her energy. While others drain themselves explaining or defending, she holds her ground quietly. She refuses to give people the satisfaction of pulling her into unnecessary drama. Instead, she lets silence expose what needs to be exposed. Her silence is sharp because it shifts the weight back onto the other person. They are left to confront themselves, and that is often far harsher than anything she could have said. That is why people who have crossed her never forget it. Her silence becomes an echo in their minds, a reminder of how heavy it feels to lose her words. Number 11. She does not destroy loudly, but she can erase you from her world so cleanly that you start to doubt if you ever existed there. Some people end relationships with drama, shouting, or messy exits that drag on for months. A Sigma female does it differently. When she decides someone no longer belongs in her world, she removes them with such precision and finality that it almost feels surgical. There are no warnings, no drawn-out fights, no pleas for understanding. One day you are in her life, and the next, it is as though you never existed. This quiet erasure is one of her darkest edges. It leaves no room for debate, no chance to twist her decision, no crack to crawl back through. And what makes it so unsettling is the way she does it with calmness, as if cutting someone off is not a struggle but a necessity. She does not look back. She does not replay the past. She simply moves forward with clarity. Imagine you once held a central role in her life. Conversations every day, shared moments, a sense of closeness. Then suddenly the calls stop. The messages go unanswered. You see her living her life, but it no longer includes you. There is no explanation given, no closure to hold on to. You are left standing in silence, questioning whether the bond was ever as real as you believed. This is how she protects her peace. She does not waste energy trying to fix people who repeatedly show they cannot be trusted. Instead, she removes them entirely and makes space only for what strengthens her. To those who experience it, the cut feels brutal because it is final. Her ability to erase people so completely shows a darker strength that most cannot match. She does not need noise to make her absence felt. She lets the emptiness speak for itself, and that emptiness can haunt more deeply than any words ever could. Number 12. She can appear soft and unbothered, yet behind that calm face is someone who has already calculated every outcome of your actions. One of the most deceptive things about a Sigma female is the way she carries herself. On the outside, she can appear gentle, calm, even easygoing. People often assume that her softness means she is unaware or that she is not paying close attention. But behind that calm expression is a sharp mind that has already read the situation and mapped out the possible endings before anyone else even realizes there is a game being played. Take a simple example. Someone tries to manipulate her with half-truths, thinking she will not notice. She does not immediately confront them. Instead, she stays composed, listening closely while piecing together the hidden agenda. By the time they finish speaking, she already knows where the conversation is heading, how far they are willing to go, and the best way to protect herself without giving away that she has seen through them. This duality, soft appearance with hard calculation, is what gives her a darker edge. People underestimate her because she does not flaunt her intelligence or power. But the truth is, while they are acting impulsively, she is already playing 3 steps ahead. She sees outcomes like a chess player, calculating risks, predicting moves, and choosing her responses with precision. This makes her dangerous in subtle ways. You never see her scrambling because she has already decided how she will handle the situation before it unfolds. What looks like calmness is actually mastery. The result is that people often realize too late that she was never as simple as she seemed. She might smile, nod, and remain unshaken, but inside she has already built a plan that ensures she stays in control, and by the time anyone notices, it is already too late to undo it. Her softness, then, is not weakness. It is the mask of someone who knows she is always 10 steps ahead. In final words, every Sigma female carries a side of herself that most people will never truly see. It is not built from darkness for the sake of being dark. It is born from experience, resilience, and the unshakable decision to never allow anyone to dictate her worth. This darker edge is not a weakness, It is her quiet armor, a boundary that protects her softness, her loyalty, and her fire from being exploited. Many mistake her strength for cruelty, when in reality it is her way of surviving in a world that often tries to take more than it gives. She has learned that not every apology deserves a second chance, not every bond can be repaired, and not every betrayal needs words to be addressed. Instead, she lets people taste the absence of the version of her they took for granted, and that lesson is unforgettable. If you are a Sigma female, take this as encouragement. Do not dim your sharper edges for the comfort of others. Your depth, your silence, and your boundaries are not flaws. They are proof that you value yourself enough to protect your essence. The world may never fully understand you, but it will never forget the way you stand unshaken in your truth. And if others ever doubt your power, let them learn the hard way. Because a Sigma female does not just survive, she teaches, she transforms, and she leaves behind an imprint that cannot be erased. Thank you for watching the Rare Gems, and God bless you.